Hello, welcome back to the Folding Towers podcast. It's just me today, David, and today I wanted to talk with you about non-attendance, no-shows, last-minute cancellations, and all that jazz. This is the first episode in a series that focuses on structural things for your massage business and practice, like policies, procedures, and some of the things you probably need to have in place that no one really seems to teach us when we are at massage school. So, if you were to ask any massage therapist what one of the most frustrating things about being a therapist is, they're going to say something about non-attendance, no-shows, did not attend, late cancellations. In fact, I'm recording this episode right now because someone didn't show up for their appointment. Non-attendance and late cancellations suck because it's your time and it is your money. If you work by yourself or for yourself, or if you're a contractor, then a non-attendance probably means that you don't get paid for that spot. And if you're an employer, then you are relying on people turning up and paying for their appointments so that you can pay your staff. No booking, no money, makes for misery in running a business. So if you go to Facebook and ask what to do right now, you'll receive mixed responses, missing detail, relating to charging fees, not charging fees, just sucking it up, etc., etc. Facebook advice is often bad, very bad. So, what are you going to do about it? I guess you could do nothing. I guess you could feel bummed out. But this is also your chance to shine. Under Australian business law, a booking for an appointment is considered to be a contract to purchase. Someone has made a commitment to turning up and buying your service. They are in contract with you. If they do not turn up, then no one else has the opportunity to buy your service at that time. So they are denying you the opportunity to be paid for your time, product, and service. Now, the biggest reasons for therapists not having a policy in place is 1. They don't want to. 2. They feel they don't need to. And 3. They are afraid of what their clients might think or say if they were to have one, and especially to enforce one. If you do not have a policy, your clients will dictate to you how they interact with you and your business, and this is not a healthy position. Before we get into policy, fees, and enforcement, let's talk about prevention first. This is where online booking systems make life very easy, because usually these systems send emails and text message reminders, albeit at a cost. Most systems also allow you to collect either 100% of the fee or a portion of your fee upfront to secure the booking, if that's what you want to do. And this is an excellent way of ensuring that a person turns up to their booking, because if they don't turn up, you keep their money, and that's happy days. You might think that, say, $40 per month is expensive for a booking system, and perhaps 10 cents per message is a little rich. However, you only need to prevent one person from forgetting their appointment, and the system has paid for itself. Now, keeping a diary seems to be getting rarer these days, and clients are more and more dependent on reminders to remember when their appointments are. For someone who is regular, you might need to prompt them to put their next booking in their diary. You might give them a card as well as sending a reminder. For people who are visual and like to use their fridge door as a reminder system, and I like to have my appointments written on a card as well, and I do stick it on my fridge. If you are sending reminders manually, do it with enough time, say 24 or 48 hours before the appointment, to ensure that they have enough time to call you and you have enough time to respond and fill that spot. And this is where a system is marvelous because it does all that for you without having to remember to do it yourself. Personally, I use my system to send out reminders with 24 hours notice. That system will usually send in their email an iCal appointment as well. They can click on that iCal, it'll contain your address, it'll save the appointment straight into their diary, and the person will get a reminder even to leave at say half an hour before the scheduled appointment. And so they can manage their time better, and it's just one more step to ensuring that a person actually turns up to their appointment. Some practices do require a response to their notification. For example, reply Y to confirm or N to cancel. The problem is for the person who doesn't respond at all, you then need to follow that person up, which does take a little bit more time. It does work very well for busy practices with an established cancellation list. And in your reminder to that person, you need to tell them to call or text you or email you if they need to reschedule. And pick the modes that you prefer. And as part of that reminder, you need to include that you do have a cancellation policy and that you might charge if they don't turn up or if they cancel at the last minute. And if you do get a person who has to reschedule every time the reminder comes out, you probably need to let that person go because this is just the way they are. I've been in business for a fair time now. I still budget to run my practice at 80% of capacity. That accounts for quiet weeks due to flaky times of the year and for also late cancellations. And it helps me to manage my stressors knowing that, if I do get a couple of cancellations in a week, it's not the end of the world. But I do remember in my early days where I might have had, say, 10 people booked in and 3 cancelled in that week. And that's when it really hurts. And I found that every time I made a brave decision in my business, usually involving committing money, resources to something, that would be the fortnight when the cancellations would come in. Whether it's universe stuff, whether it's self-fulfilling prophecy, or it's just confirmation bias, I don't really know. But usually my weeks are pretty smooth, and cancellations and non-attendance seems to come in waves. This happens to be my first non-attendance for the financial year, and I've also had 12 cancellations for the year so far. Compare that to a couple of years ago where we had 208 last-minute cancellations in a calendar year and 23 non-attendances, largely driven by COVID, all while running at 65% capacity already, and I don't care to repeat that anytime soon. So whether you are new to running your own practice or you've been around for a while, then you need to make yourself a cancellation list. Now this could be a notepad that you keep by the phone, or you can manage it through your booking system. These are the names and numbers of people who have told you that they want an appointment if something comes up at the last minute. Let's say you have demand for a Saturday or an evening spot, and you've got lots of interest for those times. Keep a register, and then you can fill that spot in a hurry. The next thing that you are going to want is a non-attendance and late cancellation policy. A policy, you say, but I'm a free-living, go-with-the-flow type of person. Believe me, you need a policy and a procedure, and it doesn't need to be long. Your policy can be as simple as this. Go and grab yourself a pen and paper right now and write this down. I've written it to sound fun, and it's a very basic policy, and you can make yours longer if you like. But here it goes. At your business name, we run like clockwork, and we have reserved your appointment especially for you. It's your spot in this world, and no one else can take it. We do run a busy practice, and we do keep a list of people who want appointments. That's why we kindly need you to give us a heads up with a minimum of 24 hours notice if you need to reschedule your appointment. Now notice I said reschedule and not cancel. Should life throw a last-minute curveball your way, don't worry, just give us a call and we'll work things out. We do need to let you know that we do charge a fee if you don't give us enough time to fill that spot. If non-attendance or late cancellation becomes a habit, then this might lead to us parting ways. Let's respect each other's time and keep the good vibes rolling during your massage journey with us. So this is a very brief policy statement. You could choose to make it longer and with more detail. But just look at the format for a moment. It's got a title. It has a position statement and reasoning, and it has consequences if the policy is broken. In this case, the consequences are a fee or parting ways, i.e. refusing any further bookings. Long story short, if you don't have a policy and you don't take reasonable steps to tell clients about that policy, then a client can challenge you, particularly if you are charging a fee. So what is a late cancellation? A late cancellation is defined in your policy, someone that does not give reasonable notice that they cannot make it. But what is reasonable notice? You get to decide that. Is it 4 hours? Is it 24 hours? Is it 48 hours? Put that in your policy. What is the consequence? Put that in your policy too. If you want to charge a fee, you need to state that in your policy. Some therapists have cascading fees, for example, cancellation between 12 and 24 hours, 50% of the appointment fee, 12 to 4 hours, 75% of the appointment fee, less than 4 hours, full cost of the appointment. Others charge a flat rate of, say, $50, $75 or $100. Others, the cancellation within 48 hours or 24 hours, it incurs the full fee. How hard you want to play is up to you, and you need to state that in your policy. I have a longer format policy for my practice, and in it I include items that I consider to be reasonableness. So if someone is genuinely ill or has a family emergency, then I will take a compassionate approach to dealing with them. And personally, for serial offenders, I do charge fees, but more often than not, I'll just tell the person I don't want to accept a booking from them and I don't want them as a client. My clients who have been unable to attend with genuine reasons, they have shown loyalty and gratitude because they were already having a rubbish day when they had to call me. So, you need to go on and write that damned policy. The next thing you need to do is tell your clients that you have a policy. Put it on your website. I hope you have a website. Put your policy there. On your online booking system, have a link to your policy there. When someone calls you to make a booking, just a reminder, we do have a policy regarding non-attendance and late cancellations, and a cancellation or non-attendance without reasonable notice will incur a fee. Have a summary or a one-liner on your table of fees on your counter. Have a copy and a folder in your waiting area. Make no excuse for clients not knowing that you take non-attendance and cancellation seriously and you are prepared to act on it. Put it in your reminder. For your favourite clients or your regulars, these are the ones that care about you and are going to be super apologetic and are going to offer to pay your fee without you even asking. The correct answer when they offer is thank you. It will help them and you to feel better about the missed appointment. Now, you need a procedure. A procedure is going to guide you how you will respond with consistency in the event that someone has breached your policy. In the following example, this is my procedure for non-attendance. It's 5 minutes past the booked time. They might be running late, they might be stuck in traffic, they might be trying to find a park, or they just plain forgot. Pick up the phone and call them. If they answer, have a conversation, or it might go to message bank. Hi, it's David here from DC Remedial Massage. Just double checking to make sure you're on your way to your massage appointment. It was at 4:45 p.m. I hope you're okay. Please call me back on my number and let me know. Why call? This is when I have found out that my client is at the hospital with a child who is suddenly ill. This is when I find out that my client has been in an accident on the M1, or maybe the traffic is banked up for 10 kilometres. This person is already stressed. They've got a reason not to be with me right now. This is when I found out that they've gone for a drink and just plain forgot about the appointment. I can hear their voice. They can hear mine. And you can provide comfort and ease their troubles. Or you can tell them to their ear that, I'm sorry you can't make it. We do have a non-attendance policy and I'll pass the fee for your appointment today. Or you might take a different tact. I have another spot available today. Or insert another appropriate time, like tomorrow. Would you like that spot? At 10 minutes past the appointment, if you haven't heard back from them, they're not coming. Send a text message. Hi, client. I missed you at your massage appointment today. I tried to call you. Please call me on your number and let me know that you're okay. It's not angry, and show them that you care about them. Then make a note on their file. Did not attend. Called at 4:45. Text at 4:55. That evening or the next day, call them again. Are they ghosting you or is something up? Then send an email. Hi, client. I missed you at your appointment yesterday. I tried to call you a couple of times and I sent you a message. I wanted to know that you were safe and healthy. I haven't heard back. We do have a non-attendance policy. I've attached an invoice for you to cover the missed appointment. You need to pay the fee before I can see you again. Send the invoice and follow it up. It's now a debt to you. So what happens if they don't pay? Well, you'll probably never see that person again. And unless you want to put it to debt collection, you'll probably never see that money either. But you have drawn a line in the sand. If the person does pay and does rebook, they will probably never no-show again. So when is it a bad idea to charge a non-attendance fee? Again, in Australian consumer law, they talk about a frustrated contract. Factors beyond a person's control prevents them from fulfilling that contract. An accident on the way and a family illness are both examples of external factors beyond that person's control. You can totally still charge a fee if that's what you want to do, but this is also an opportunity to show compassion. And a little bit of goodwill goes a long way, and you will build loyalty by showing a bit of leniency sometimes. Because that person's day is already looking a bit rubbish, and you can make it more rubbish, or you can make it brighter. Offer sympathy or empathy if that's what is warranted. You might even go so far as to send a card, or give them a call in a few days because you are concerned for them, and offer another time for when it is appropriate for them to come back in, and waive the fee. Make a note on their file, because if their mother dies twice, you'll know they're lying, and you can totally send them a bill. You probably don't want that sort of person as a client anyway. So what did I do today? I already knew a little bit about my client. From a non-English speaking background, has 2 children under 7 with quite severe autism, has a non-supportive partner, and when I called, I could hear a child screaming in the background and my client was in tears. She had organised for her partner to stay home so she could come to see me. When the outburst started, he walked out and said he had to go to work. I didn't charge a fee today. So let's wrap this little topic up. If you want to charge a non-attendance fee or a late cancellation fee, then you need a policy and state what that fee is. You then need to take reasonable steps to tell them that you have a policy. Put it on your website. Mention it in reminders. Include it in your client intake form. Have a hard copy. Include wording on your table of fees. Have a procedure in place so that when you need to action the policy, you can follow the steps consistently and apply the policy fairly. Show compassion where it is due, and be rock solid on enforcing where it is right to do so. Get over the fear, write that damned policy, because you're not going to regret it. So this is the first part in our policy series. We'll be bringing more topics like this one over the next few months. If you've found this helpful, please head to our Facebook page or our Instagram page and leave a comment on the website or send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And if you are loving this podcast, don't forget to subscribe through your favourite podcasting app so that you never miss an episode. And if you're listening through Apple Podcasts or through Spotify, please leave us a rating and a review. It helps more people like yourself to find us. Bye for now.